Today I want to talk about our relationship with our younger selves and how we really don't give our younger selves much credit. I want to read some stuff that I found. I have all my diaries from when I was younger here in France now finally, and boy is this interesting. And I used to think I was just so dumb. Did I do a lot of stuff that was just unbelievably reckless and crazy and whatever? Absolutely. But I was not, I was way more in touch with my intuition even back then than I realized. So I just want to share this. So a lot of the people who follow me, all my family and friends back home are probably hanging out with the family and, you know, being around family today. It's Thanksgiving, by the way. No one here in France cares. So I'm just kind of trying to experience it. Anthony's going to make me some Thanksgiving-ish type food. But anyway, so I'm doing this because I know being with your family a lot of times can, you know, really trigger like all your stuff, right? Like we know that. And it's really hard for me to not resort to like 12-year-old Melanie or even 4-year-old Melanie or 21-year-old Melanie when I'm in the presence of people who, my family especially, but people who've known me for a really long time. We just kind of fall into the dynamics, and that's kind of normal anyway. So it's hard to not stay anchored in who you are. But I want to offer something that no matter, like, please forgive your younger self. Please, please, please. I still judge her so harshly. And really making peace with that part of me is part of my own healing. It also helps me learn how to not hate children. I really hated kids for a long time. I still don't want them. But healing my child crap made me not hate children. I didn't realize a lot of my hatred of children was my fear of them and my fear of myself. But that's another topic. I want to talk today about, you know, I'm just trying to like approach younger Melanie with this sense of curiosity. And it's really... and not so much judgment, because I really don't give myself enough credit for how like smart and in touch with the truth that I was even back then, you know? And I think it's important for me to look back and being like, wow, like I've grown a lot, but I also like don't give myself enough credit for how well I handled a lot of things even at that age. And that also helps me moving forward, because that means like 10 years from now, I'm going to look back at 47. I'm 47 now. I turned it this week. 47-year-old Mel. At 57, I'm going to be like, dang, she did pretty good. But, you know, I wish she'd known this. But now she, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. That's why I love history. I have a history degree. That's why history is just storytelling. But it's not just a history of people, society, and whatever. It's my history. So as much, and I think I'm going to do another history video today about Thanksgiving, and so look forward to that soon. Or don't, but I love history. And now, I mean, I'm reminded now more than ever why I changed to that major, because I just couldn't get enough of it. So now this is in like, you know, her story today. Into some reading, you know, I realize I am becoming more and more in touch with this kid, because I'm literally like dressed like, look, I'm wearing almost the same sneakers. Yes, that is the game Operation, which is unbelievably hard to get that one bone. Anyway, the femur. I look back, I'm not like, God, I'm like, oh. So if you already feel that towards your child self, great, then you're in a great place. But I was just like, I just didn't want anything to do with her. Well, and then I realized I had a lot of memories is because I didn't want to like learn what she was going through, whatever. Look, see, I got Asics. Okay, Asics today, Adidas then, whatever. But you know, this is like Christmas at that's my sister. Look at this tree. This is at my dad's house. I look so miserable. This is his apartment. I don't even remember this place. I have no idea what it looks like. This is right after the divorce. I think I'm like 5 or 4. Like, so if you struggle during the holidays, go back and look at photos of you during the holidays, and maybe you'll know why. Like I literally have no idea where I am right now. I'm assuming this is my dad's apartment, but I have no memory of that. In fact, the only memory I have in this range is my birthday party, which my birthday is always around Thanksgiving, so I associate Thanksgiving with my birthday. I remember picking this shirt out and being so proud of myself that I picked out my outfit. Me and my grimace hat. This is when kids used to have all their birthday parties at McDonald's, or at least like kids like me, whatever. And it's E.T. I was like, I want to have an E.T. I picked out this outfit. I was so proud of myself. I swear to God, I think I even have a bag like that right now. Look at me in my little Michael Jackson. and my jellies. Anyway, when I try to find photos of me when I was in like my angry teenager, self-destructive, unbelievably in bad like drunk phase. I mean, I dropped every Wednesday at school and on the weekends, and at one point I was even doing, like I was out of control, drinking alone in my basement before school, cigarette one hand, in another hand, booze in my lap. Okay, I had a fake ID, but I had braces. Imagine going and buying beer with braces and a fake ID. Anyway, there's only one place that would believe me. This is my friend. She was at my wedding here. She lives in Germany. She's still my best friend. She's in a women's group with me. We've been together for so long. But this is a really tough moment for me. But I really, as destructive as I was in this moment, I think I'm 16 or 17 here. I also like, I wasn't as like, just, I don't know. I knew more than I thought I knew. And that's why if you have journals, don't throw those away. It really is like really helping me forgive myself, heal a lot of stuff, empathize with that younger self, and really appreciate where I am now. And also realize that like, like all the things I've done to get where I am now and will continue to do to keep moving forward and evolving and growing and learning. But like, she was not as gullible and, ignorant as I thought she was. So, my content is all over the place. Today, some days movies, sometimes politics, sometimes whatever, comedy. But today it is a more personal one. And I've actually already read some of my journal stuff over on Patreon. So if you're not on my Patreon, please join, especially given the times we are entering into. And especially now, we have FemFree starting December 1st, but you can start now. Please be very intentional about where you put your money, who you give it to. Spending money on dumb stuff people are going to throw away or regift, but really just, you know what? I'm really doing this myself. So you can do my lives over there. I have so many amazing guests coming up. I'm going to have Michelle back, by the way, if you haven't seen that live yet. I released part of it on YouTube the other day. Michelle's going to join me, I think maybe in January or so, and talk about moving forward with this new administration as a survivor's advocate. I love talking to her. So please join my Patreon. Please support FemFreeze. Please support any creators because we don't know what's going to happen. But if you value what we give, I promise you the apps are not paying us what you think they are. I sometimes make $20 a day on YouTube working all day on a video. Sometimes less than that. So Patreon is truly what helps me. So thank you, Patreon people who now I know not everyone can afford it. Okay, I get that. But truly, Patreon is paying my rent right now. Anyway, so I'm going to be more personal here today for everybody. So this first journal entry, so for those of you all know, the first narcissist, the first boyfriend I ever had, like real boyfriend, I mean, until 36 is when I first really started dating, like had a real boyfriend. But between then and there, it was like trying things, one night stands, hate forks, and then lots of celibacy, like 5-year chunks at a time of celibacy. But I think honestly, this man I want to credit this man. Well, no, I don't want to credit him. But, I think that even like my biggest mistakes have always, I learned from them. I may repeat them a little bit here and there, but I adapt to the mistakes. And this relationship with my boyfriend, who is in prison right now for tried to pull a Bernie Madoff. He was an entitled prick. Had money from his grandpappy. This is in the South, so he comes from old money, so draw the conclusions there. I'm not trying to other myself because, being from the South, I own what my ancestors done. Just saying, the old money in the South has a direct line to, our story. So it makes sense this man was a narcissist, and just, but yeah, I dated him for some reason. Not for some reason. I know exactly why, given what I learned later. So the other thing about going back and reading your old journals is the more you actually start to understand your past, the more I had memories of stuff that happened, the more I've been healing it, the more I actually understand why I was doing a lot of the stuff that didn't make sense back then. So now I get why I dated this guy, but I think this guy is what kept me from dating. I think I decentered men in terms of just like tapping out and not dating them. I mean, I tried, and every time I was like, nope. This man made me realize that I am not the person I want to be when I'm with most men. In terms of dating. Now, I don't say that's true anymore because I am truly my authentic self in my marriage. But that's only because I have been working on this stuff for so long. But back then, I saw right away that I have some, like, I didn't know back then it was like trauma or any of that stuff for like SA and infamous and stuff like that. But I knew that, like, I felt like, you know, I was raised by a single mom who was like a lioness, you know? And so I just remember being like, once I actually started dating, being like, whoa, who is this person? I did not like who I was when I was dating. So I am so glad I learned in high school that men will make me the worst version of myself if I don't deal with whatever it is that makes me so. It's not just my personal stuff. It's also collective socialization under patriarchy. That's why I say you got to deal with the collective indoctrination and the personal stuff. You can't do one or the other. You'll just keep, you know, whatever. But let's get in. So I started off, this is January 3rd, 1995. So I guess that would make me a junior in high school. So 17, I guess. Yeah. Today was no day out of the ordinary, but I was just decided to write my first entry into what I hope will be a long record of not only my recovery, I put it in quotes. Interesting, huh? Because I didn't get real recovery for another 20 years from, you know, but also to document my feelings and emotions. Right now, I seem to have fallen into Aaron's trap again. Look at that. I even knew, like, as I'm dating this person, I'm like, well, he pulled one over on me. I am in this again. How'd I get here? Like, when I look, like, right out of the gate, just wait till you hear more. I thought I was, like, just so dumb when I was dating. Like, no. All along, all along I knew this guy was, like, not great for me. I understand now why I had a hard time not dating him anyway, but I love that I saw it, right? Like, this like blew my mind. Well, you're going to see some, okay. I've fallen in his trap again, only this time it's different. Okay, here we go. Here comes the classic victim here who's going to fall into it. And then, I go, this time it's different. ... I hope. Like, I can already call myself out on my lies right here. I feel very attracted to him, not only physically, but emotionally as well. You see, unlike Steve was Steve was this guy that I had been dating. Well, not really. We only saw, he wasn't in high school anymore. He was like 2 years older than me. He was not in high school. He was living in a house. And he was our dealer. Like, that was he was a drug dealer. And the only time I saw him was he would pick me up. I would sneak out the window of my basement, like, whatever, and he would come and, like, and he had such a, like, drug dealer car, and he'd pick me up at the top of the hill, and he'd sit there, and I'd get in his car, and he'd drive me to his place, and we'd just hook up and, you know, get messed, like, hooked up all night and hook up. I don't even know if I slept with him, honestly. I don't think I did. I used a lot of more, like, self-control back then. I think we just made out and got high. Anyway, I remember for my birthday that year, he got me a wizard candle, like the kind that you would get at, like, a Grateful Dead or, like, Spencer's Gift or something. And I was like, this is so dumb. I remember thinking, this is the dumbest gift. Like, I remember thinking, dude, you're a dealer. Give me some weed, not a candle. So, I mean, this guy at least was, like, nice, you know? I wish I'd stayed with the dealer, because this man that I got, Aaron, woo, boy, did I learn the hard way. Anyway, unlike Steve ever was, Aaron reinforces me with a with a single touch or a glance at me just to let me know that he's thinking about me at the time. Huh. Yeah, can you tell how starved I am for attention from a man? And he never ignores me or acts like I'm not in the room. Most of all, how that's so funny because Steve never did that. You know who did that? My dad. Like, it's so funny. Like, everything I'm saying, he, like reinforcement, doesn't ignore me or not acts like I'm not in the room. That's literally what it was like to be in a room with my dad when I was a kid or teenager. Or even adult. He's just watching football, getting drunk, and every once in a while ask me something. But like, I promise you, I'm not talking about Steve here. Because Steve, like, we just saw each other when he come pick me up and we just hang out. So I'm clearly talking about what I'm used to from men because I hadn't dated really. The only reference I have to how men treat me was my dad, right? First of all, however, I'm not quite so hesitant to express myself to him. Unlike any person, well, that's not true. I express myself to my girlfriends, but I think I mean with guys. I also revealed to him oh my God, y'all. Oh, this makes sense why I ended up with him. I forgot. I haven't read this in like a month. I also revealed to him my deepest secrets. And that's something I would never reveal to Steve. Oh, Melanie! Oh, see, this is why I do my work. This is why I do my work. If you have daughters or nieces or whatever, this is a red flag. It's not that you can tell your secrets, you can open up, but any guy who is pulls like your deepest secrets out of you, this is what my abusive, the homosexual that I ended up, who almost like me, that's what he did. He revealed all this trauma of his, he showed me his like attempted self-unaliving scars on our first like date, which wasn't even a date. We went and met in a coffee shop, whatever. So this is why I talk about like some of the, like love bombing and like some of the things that men will do to kind of manipulate you into trusting them so they can then do whatever they want. So I fell for it. I could tell it whatever. I felt for a while that I was recovering somewhat by eating everything I was supposed to, but now it only seems that it's monotonous and pointless because it only makes me feel fatter when I eat. Oh, here we go. So I'm just talking about food stuff. I was really struggling. See, the thing is that it's interesting. I started this journal entry at the same time talking about how, and I put recovery in quotes because I think I kind of knew that my eating and my was going to get worse being with this dude. Because it did. It got a lot worse. I also struggled with it at any point when I did, but every time I had something happen with men that really triggered all my stuff, my self-harm, which, compulsively eating tens of thousands of calories is self-harm. But then violently doing that afterwards is so, but it was like, it was comfort. It gave me relief because I didn't understand why all this turmoil was happening while dating this dude. I'm like, so trigger warning, sorry. I only, but now I know I'm, over the holidays I only ate when I knew I could, purge. But now I've kind of fallen out of that. I want to go back. It seems to me at this point that the plan is the only solution. Back to Aaron. Not that these are related at all. Again, I dealt with this while I was single. Absolutely struggled with it. I'm just saying that it was usually worse when all these really confusing, very difficult things were triggered when I was dealing with men. Back to Aaron. Just to mention, he called me. Hold on. He called me the first time on his own tonight just to talk. I'm like, wow, a guy wants to just talk to me? Oh my God, I'm not used to that. I'm used to a man watching football and ignoring me. I've spent a total of 3 nights together, whole nights, and we haven't done anything. and I put in parentheses that I know of yet because I was wasted all the time, y'all. Blacking out. Like, I was like, I don't think he raped me. Oh, you don't have no idea how much I lied to my mom to do all this stuff. She had no idea I was doing all these because she didn't do these drugs. She didn't understand. She didn't understand what the signs were. I'm pretty sure I didn't have children because I just feel like karma would make me have a daughter like myself. Anyway, are you judging me? No? Okay. Oh yeah, by the way, we're married now. I remember this. It was obviously not real. I know this will look incredibly stupid looking back. But you have to remember that we were really forked up when we decided to do this, and pretty forked up when we went through with it. I honestly didn't know how to reply to Jack. It's like so. Y'all, I've told you about I have this tattoo on me that I hate because this guy, Aaron, convinced me, hey, let's drop acid and go get tattoos together. And I was like, that sounds so stupid. And then I was like, okay. Let me tell you that story later on. I've told it like on TikTok, but not on YouTube. So this was like the beginning, like not the beginning, but this reinforced my self-abandonment so hard that I was like, so one of our friends jokingly was like, asked if we were dating. Oh, okay, he asked if we were dating, and I didn't know how to reply. I just said, I don't know. I don't think so. I went on to do this a lot. I think we actually were very clearly dating according to Aaron, but I was like, I don't know. Because I was like a cool girl who could like do more drugs and, drink more than everybody. I ended up doing that in the outdoors too, but with sports instead of chemicals. That's the cool girl. She don't care. I don't know. Whatever. So, we're at at Aaron's house, his grandpa's house. That's where I lost my virginity too. His grandpa's always out of town. I lost my virginity to this man while I was working at, well, I also worked at Piggly Wiggly, by the way. But this is when I was working at Backyard Burgers, and I was working a split shift. And one day I was like, work it. He came through the drive-thru and I was like, I got like 3 hours to kill. You want to go fork? And he was like, yeah. So I went, he was like, his grandfather's house, his rich old grandpappy's house, who was gone. I met him over there, and it was the worst experience ever. I'll tell that story later. And I went back and like walk, like could barely walk because it was so painful, and served waffle fries the rest of the day. Anyway, so we were partying, all of us, a house with no parental supervision, and all of us, we had all these drugs and alcohol. I think it was New Year's Eve maybe. And then, our friend Jack was like, are you guys dating? I don't know. And then I think Aaron was like, let's get married. And it was a joke. And so we had like a fake ceremony. So this is actually my second marriage, y'all. But even there, I'm just like, I don't know. Actually, in a way, it's as if we are, but like, you never know with him. Okay, so there's one more entry. And this is on February 27th. So this is 1 month and 24 days after the first entry. And boy, have things changed. I don't know what, he just does this. Look at his mouth. He's so sleepy right now. He's just staring into space. Okay, right out of the gate. Well, things have changed dramatically since I last wrote. Aaron and I have been dating seriously for almost 3 months now. So apparently we were dating. I just didn't know it. Come to find out, that's how several of my relationships started. I didn't know we were dating. I have come to realize I've come to realize his manipulative ways. And I have a horrible time communicating with him. I tried breaking up with him just last week. I don't remember trying to break up with this dude. I'm so proud of myself for trying to break up with him. Like, yep, they just make it so hard to leave. I tried to break up with him just last week. I told him I couldn't handle it any longer because my eating disorder was getting much worse. Yo, just hold on. I began the conversation with the intentions of breaking up with him, but somehow it ended up with me deciding to go to treatment for a month. And I did. I went all the way to Florida for treatment. I had no idea that this dude was behind that. Like, I was really struggling with it and could use it. I had no idea that idea that I need treatment came from me trying to break up with this man, this boy, teenager. And then he came down there to visit me, which pissed off my parents so much because this treatment was like the insurance only paid for like This was like, they were so mad because they knew that this guy should not be anywhere near me, especially when I'm in a place like this. They all hated him, by the way. But I love that I'm even saying, like, I tried to break up with him, and somehow this dude talked me into going to treatment. Even then, I'm like, this seems crazy, right? For a month. Now, if this is not manipulation, then I'd like to know what is. See what I mean, y'all? I knew. The worst part, however, is that I lost my virginity to him. And now, hold on, is that it? And now we fork a lot. I really don't know what it is that makes me stay with him. I know he's a compulsive liar, a schmegs-obsessed asshole, and most of all, a self-centered, selfish, spoiled brat. I had no idea I hated this man so much, this teenager. But something in me won't let me let him go. I think in part it has to do with security. Y'all, my therapist would be like, voila. He makes me feel special because he could have anyone, including Lucy, who was like the soccer player, like the popular thin hippie girl. But he chose me over all those 110-pound beautiful girls that he could easily have. Y'all, I literally am like, you know, because he chose me, he picked me. See, this is what I mean. I'm a pick me too. We all, if you can't survive, someone was like, what do you mean we're all on pick me? You can't survive, you can't be indoctrinated into a male-obsessed, male-centered world without having it in you on some level. Some of us more than others, clearly. I'm like, well, I think I'm staying with him because he picked me. This is what they all do. This is what they do. I didn't think, I thought he was too cute for me. He could have this other girl. Why is he choosing me? And I felt lucky that I got picked. And so even though I thought he was a compulsive liar, a some asshole, and most of all, a self-centered, selfish, spoiled brat, I couldn't break up with him because he picked me and it made me feel special. I guess this makes me feel pretty. A little bit, but also that I am a good person. Oh, this is very insightful. If my personality could win over the good looks of all those others, then see what I mean? I felt like a good person because I may not have been as, and the thing is, maybe I was as pretty, but I thought I wasn't. I thought I was really obsessed with my weight. I was very fat phobic because of, well, my dad was constantly criticizing my weight, by the way. Criticizing women's weights all the time. So it makes sense. A woman with daddy issues was then like, Nanny, you don't want someone overweight? Okay, I'll throw up all my food to make sure I'm not. No matter what weight I was, I always thought I was like not pretty. And so I didn't realize I was doing that math in my head. Well, like, okay, she's way prettier, more popular, like star soccer player. And I'm just this like loser, like bulimic, self-harming drunk addict. Why is he with me? Oh, I must have a good personality. I must be funny or entertaining or good, like nice or something. Whew. I have learned, what does it say? I have learned so much about him in the past few months. I try so hard to believe that he's a good person. Deep down, that is. But it's hard to believe when you see what he does to others. Oh! The end. Y'all, I thought it was always hard for me to let that dude go, but it never occurred to me that I always saw right through him. I didn't understand how to break out of the pattern. I didn't understand that I had so much work to do on myself in order to not be with men like that. But I did know out of the gate, this guy kind of sucks. And I'm proud of myself. Anyway, I don't know. I have so many journals, y'all. So many journals of little Melanie of all ages. I mean, even the entries, I don't write about my dad much, but when I do, I'm like, yeah, he forgot mom's birthday present, so now she's mad. Anyway, it's funny. But these two journal entries help me heal so much stuff. So if you are at home with family, or, you know, even if you don't have your journals or whatever, please don't be so hard on yourself, your older self. You know, I mean, I was 17 and I could already see all these red flags. I just didn't understand cycles of violence and trauma responses and like narcissism or abuse. I didn't understand patriarchy. I didn't understand any of those things, and I was still getting to know myself. I didn't know myself very well, but I clocked this dude, and I'm so proud of myself. So anyway, take care of yourselves today. And if you haven't read this book, The Body Is Not an Apology by Sonia Renee Taylor, I mentioned this in another video, and I did meant to do another part 2 of the one I did before about bodies and what she calls body terrorism, because that's a big part of my story. I don't really talk about it much because I have so much to talk about, y'all. I'm afraid I'm going to get censored if I show this whole photo. That's why my head's here. But that is a really great book, a great book to start. And I'm going to have one of my mutuals, delusional influencer, on one of my lives soon, and she has really helped me with learning empathy for myself, empathy for others. I mean, well, I always have more to learn, y'all. But it's like her work has changed my life. So I'm gonna have her on my live soon. We just chatted about today. I don't know the date yet. Yeah, I think I want to share stuff that is like educational and healing and helps us moving forward to deal with all this stuff. But you know, I don't know. Do you like this? Let me know. You want more of this or no? Is this boring for you? Let me know. And let me know if you heard the comment song. And please join my Patreon if you can afford to. And if you can't afford to, please join it anyway as a free member so that you can keep up with my work in case any of these platforms disappear one day like that, like TikTok probably will, or just if the algorithms don't send you my stuff. So anyway, thanks, and take care of yourselves today for those who are celebrating a colonial crazy holiday anyway, but I think of it as what am I thankful for today, and the sense of family, chosen or not, whatever. Anyway, et voila. Sweet comment songs are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Little Melanie and her umbrella, overalls in this photo. This is a weird comment song, 80s version. This is a weird comment song. Look at those cute little shoes. What am I wearing? I don't know. Comment song is for random stuff. Ooh, oh my God, this stuff was really teaching us crazy things. Flowers in the attic, I don't know why, but I think I'm supposed to be attracted to a boyfriend that was also my brother, but that didn't work out, thank God. What the hell were they giving us to read? Anyway, this is an unhinged song from the 80s. Coming song, coming song, coming song, coming song. Look at those two-tone jeans with the vest and the big old bow. Oh, look at that for Halloween. I loved Michael Jackson. This is Anthony and his little French 90s, 80s version, whatever. Anyway, look at him delicately holding the little, what is that, a chicken? I don't know. This is like such a crazy contrast. I was always a clown. I'm not even singing that song. Look at Anthony, so excited to meet your brother. I'm honest, like I'm something. Oh, look at that. I was a chaotic mess back then, but this is me now. Hey, I'm 47. Woo! Look at me as a grown-ass adult, still wearing rainbows, moving on with life. Bitch, what about soccer ball, disco ball, da-da-da-da, moving on, da-da-da-da. I can't even sing. Oh, my God. I'm so, tired of this song. I need to stop it. Roller skates. Anyway, I know this is us. Me and Mo's being ridiculous in my chair because the king baby thinks this is his chair. Tap, tap, tap. Are you done tapping your comment? I'm tired of singing and this is terrible. Anyway, if you're new here, I do this all the time and it makes no sense, but that's so you can tap a comment. Let me know if you heard the 80s comment song.